Ironwood Games. This is Andrew, and welcome to an edition of what I'm calling playing bad standard for coins, or for gold. I have three tasks here: white or black spells, black or red, black or red. So we're just going to grab a black-red deck and take it into some um, just regular matchmaking to get some coins. So it looks like we've got this Line of Fire deck. That's probably one of the pre-built decks. I used the blue-green one before. Usually what I do on these is I'll play them a little bit, and then I'll go in and maybe try and make some changes and upgrade it a little bit, because usually it has one or two copies of any rares that it has, and it's a little all over the place. And so we'll just see what cards we have in the collection that might, in standard, that might improve the deck, either consistency or power level, or something. And the goal really is keep this with is to figure out A, what the deck does, and B, to meet our quest goals, in this case of black and red or black and white spells. So sometimes in this you'll notice you can't do that yet, so that's fine. That will prioritize playing a we'll prioritize playing a spell over maybe winning or playing the best line. And we'll also keep playing even when we've clearly lost, if we can cast just one more spell. And really that's just because we want to get that gold in as few games as possible. That's kind of the plan here. If we win and we rank up, that's good. I don't need to attack here. And I don't need to do any of those. But I don't ever play enough serious standard to rank up very highly, so none of it matters. Okay, so when he enters, he's going to put counters on each other creature you control. So Fire Prophecy might be worth it here. He does have Trample. So we could kill him. I do think the thing... Oh, only on other things named Baloth Pack Hunter. I thought it was going to be on everything here. Sorry about that. I don't know who that is. So we will just Fire Prophecy now, though, because if he has more hunters, we're going to put this expensive one on the bottom to draw a card, because either we get something cheap, or we get a land, or we move into both. So Tectonic Giant, we don't have the second red for right now. That's interesting. Village Rites is nice. It's an instant, so I kind of want to use it for a point where a creature's about to die anyways, needlessly, or some other way. We're going to attack here because its block is not profitable for him. So we'll sneak in and attack. We could have attacked here to kind of trick the block before he gets enough land to pump it. But assuming that, yeah, he's going to have another Pack Hunter, which is one of the reasons I feel that our last play made sense. We could have waited until he actually played it, but then we wouldn't have used our mana last time. That sounds fun. So we could attack with Careless Celebrant, but he's going to block with one of these, and then the 2 damage just goes here and is not enough to finish him off. It's better to block the Pack Hunter here and then use it to finish off, I think. And so we'll just play our creature, and this time we're not going to attack. We're just going to see what he does. Yeah, this giant is interesting. I don't know that it's a great card for what we're doing here. I feel like that was an interesting play. Can't say I understand it. Target creature gets +1/+1 and gains your choice of Death Touch or Lifelink until end of turn. So that's going to be an amazing card to combat trick, get him something. The other thing that's nice about these instances, even if things go south, we can play them at the last second, just to get our spells in before we lose. Okay, so now I would assume he's going to, at the end of his turn, start pumping his Jungle Delvers and trying to grow those, which is why I was saying last turn I think I would have done that if I were him over the Spider, because the Spider didn't really change the board state. Here we'll play this Sorcery, Forbidden Friendship. More targets for our instants and things that we have. Because he has the 4/4, no reason to attack into it and show him a trick. He could pretty easily determine that we have a trick there for it, and either doesn't block, which we get the 3, but then he has better attacks, and maybe he doesn't attack because of the block. I think at this point we just kind of ride this out, see if we can draw something to deal with the Jungle Delvers before they get out of control, especially if he gets to the point of until the end of your next turn you may play that card. I think, let's see, he's gonna Rabid Bite, which is interesting. We're gonna do the draw. We're going to resolve that. We'll take a mountain, sure. So that gets a land off the top. Damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. So we could Alchemist's Gift to save it. I'm not going to. I'm going to Village Rites it. And draw the cards. If we got to deal damage back or something, I might consider with the Death Touch doing that. I don't care about that. One thing I'm going to play the land just because I run out of that option here at the end of turn. We'll play a creature while we can. One thing I'm noting, I think, in this deck, we want to go and look for maybe some more direct damage or creature removal, because that's drawing any of that right now would help break up this stall. It has a lot of like death effects, and I don't see any payoff for that. I'm sure there's probably 1 or 2 cards in here that might let us do that. I think we've got 8 or 9 black or red spells we've done so far, so we're pretty good on target for doing this. So Fire Prophecy is interesting. We can put a swamp on the bottom and draw a card. The reason I'm not going to do it yet is I'm going to wait till end of turn when he activates this to put the 4th counter on, and then I'll blow it up just to make him feel bad, because I'm a jerk like that, I guess. The only downside to that is whatever card I do draw, if it's a sorcery or creature, I don't get to play it this turn. But I'm okay with that. No attacks. End turn. And the reason I like doing it this turn, he doesn't have extra mana to do the 2nd time in response. Like this is that one window. If he had 8 mana, I don't know that we'd be able to do that. Let's resolve. I want full control because I never know at the end of turn. Oh, he does with the Woodland Mystic. Oh, see, that's my bad. On misplays all around here. That's all right. That'll happen, and nothing we can do about it, so that's fine. I forgot about his Woodland Mystic here. Might have wanted to just go on to the Pack Hunter or this Jungle Delver, or go into attacks to trick it into like a Death Touch block or something. I'm gonna play Dire Fleet Warmonger. So this looks like one of the reasons for all these dice triggers. It's maybe more of a sacrifice deck, but I don't know that that's amazing. Okay, resolve. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna go. Okay, he's gonna start spreading them out. I would have done both on this one just to get it big enough out of that reach of that 3 damage that he knows I'm capable of doing. But again, I prefer kind of spreading my threats around. I'm not really sad about this game just dragging out. I just get to play my red and black spells, and I don't know that it's I'm not worried about really the winning or losing part of it. We're gonna attack here. I assume he puts his 6/6 on us, but maybe he doubles. Almost anything he does, yeah, is bad for him. Yeah, he can pump it in response, so that's why I have to give it Death Touch. Because the lifelink means he can pump it and still kill it. The trample is nice because it does trample over. So we get kind of a good spot on that. We're still pretty dead to this second Jungle Delver. Yeah, Rampaging Brontodon. Big Green, he's going to stomp over us, over the top, for sure. So at this point, it's just about, right, playing our spells out and seeing what we can do. All right, we're not going to do it this turn because he can't attack. That's why we didn't play him till second main the time before. just so we could skip that question. Yeah, and then our trample, which unfortunately we don't have. Let's just take the damage. I want to jump these two because they can deal their damage to, say, the spider, which then he has to have a trick to save. I take 14 out of maybe the 21. I'm still pretty dead to this Brontodon, this board state, if I don't draw an actual kill spell. Yes, so that's fine on that. Here, since we didn't draw a card, anything to play, we have no more spells, we will concede we are pretty dead there. And let's see how we did on our progress. So 15 out of 20, 15 out of 30, 14 out of 20. We're doing pretty good here. We're going to go back into play. Here's what we're going to do, though, is we are going to go edit it real quick. And see. So we do have 3 fire prophecies. Yeah, so this is interesting. The Alchemist's Gift. Eat to Extinction is fine. I would like... So there's just lots of... token creation for sacrificing creatures, which is fine. We do have this Heartless Act. Let's play it again as is. I'm wondering if these Infuriates or maybe the Alchemist's Gift might need to be just more removal. Like Feed the Swarm is something. Like Murder is just a straight up murder, which I love. I also don't dislike like Shackles in a sacrifice deck where you have sack outlets. What else do we see here? I don't know what I'm seeing. I kind of like Murder, but Poison the Cup is just a better Murder. I do have one of those, so let's put in one Poison. That's interesting for drawing cards, I think. Yeah, I don't know about that Forbidden Friendship either. Let's take an Infuriate out. Make that one update. We'll play this Line of Fire, and we'll see how it goes this next time. Again, we only played the deck one time. It was kind of a stall on that. I feel like we want more just straight up removal things. I consider like the Shackles or Shackles type effects or Treason effects. If I felt we had more consistency on choosing when to sacrifice. We had a lot of like when this creature dies creatures. We only had the Direfleet Warmonger, the couple of those that let us choose something to sacrifice. And that card, the Treason effect, is less good if we don't have some more sacrifice on demand. I guess we did have the Village Rites as well, so something to keep an eye on, because essentially the Treason effect then is a kill spell with upside because we get to sacrifice it. It technically could get around indestructible, but then can't deal with like hexproof. But our destruction effects can't deal with hexproof anyways. Alright, so our matchmaking is taking a minute here. Alright, we are back. So hopefully if you're watching this, I've cut out the wait time. If you're watching this as soon as I put it up, you may still experience that wait time until it gets edited by YouTube. Yeah, I think we're going to mulligan. There's just not enough to do early on with that. This seems better. Keep this. I think we're going to send the Alchemist's Gift back. I could see sending a land back, just because we're likely to draw another land in one of our couple of turns. And maybe I should have done that, since we had a couple of 2s and a 3. But I didn't, so there you go. I would put out Slaughter Priest, but if it gets targeted early on, it doesn't get us any value, and it is something that can get targeted just because it presents a threat. It kind of narrates what the deck wants to do. Old Growth Toad. Old Growth Troll. Okay, so when it dies, it gets to come back. That's fun. I think we'll play a Direfleet Warmonger to use our mana efficiently. We will decline no attacks. We're just, this black-red gets pretty aggressive. And we're going to take out these things. It looks like we've got another kind of big green rampy deck that we're coming up against here. So yeah, Blizzard Brawl is pretty good. Yeah, I'll take the block because I might as well. soak up a little bit of damage. Kill his creature. Oh, does he give it indestructible with that? Yes, it does. Okay. So that's fine. What we're going to do is we're going to foretell this, which I don't believe will count as a cast. And we're going to Slaughter Priest, put something on the board. I want to foretell it because I can take the hit, and then I get the Scry 2. And then I've got removal. Elder Gargaroth is good. No blocks. It's probably the thing we're going to actually kill now with our Poison the Cup. Because it's got too much. Okay, so Gourmand. Don't want that. Gourmand we can't really cast. We need another creature to sacrifice to it, so I'm going to bottom both of those. I want to attack here just because we're not going to block. Sure, Cultivate is fine. So yeah, definitely we've got big green Ramsey. A deck going on here. Sure, Rune of Might is fine. We very likely are going to have to burn both Fire Prophecies to deal with the Old Growth Troll on our turn. I don't want to wait, only because if he untaps, put a card into your library, decline, and has some way to protect it, he gets more mana, where this way he only has the 2 open. We're going to decline that. Sure, he gets an aura, which he can sacrifice and bring a troll, so that's why we're not going to attack. And create another troll, which he needs to do if he is light on creatures, which it seems like he is. But that takes care of the Rune of Might, and we are less likely to die here, at least immediately. Sure. That's will definitely be a attack them. So good for our opponent. All right, so we've got one of our quests down. Let's go in. Try and see if we can get another match. Complete one of these. I still think we want more destroy effects. In this deck, even the 3 damage wasn't great, but again, we've just gone up against 2 mono green stompy decks. Sure, this seems fine. It's land heavy, but we've got things we can do here. With it, we'll start with the Bloodfell Caves. So I don't want to make too many changes just to combat one type of deck when we haven't really seen a variety of things. So Piper of the Swarm can definitely take over the game kind of early on. Since he's got black, if he's got removal on that, it's definitely something he would use it on. I'd like to maybe wait and see what he does and what we're up against. Yeah, because he's just going to kill off kind of what we put down for right now, which is fine. For the same reason, the Slaughter Priest is a lot better if we can get the Piper on board. And if not, it looks like we're going to kind of eat through a lot of removal here, which is fine. Pretty much what I expect, or was kind of expected going into this mono black. I put the Piper down because if he still has removal, we've got to run into it, and that's just going to be unfortunate. Yeah, you can have one of these. If not, we get to at least maybe make a rat. So he took, oops, in exile, our Fire Prophecy, which I'm not sure why that's the card that worries him the most, or I guess the double Heartless Act. He doesn't care. I feel like, I don't know. Fire Prophecy is, I think, worse than Heartless Act, but maybe he's got things with counters that he's going to be able to do things on. So no attack. We are just going to try and keep this alive, despite the fact that he's very likely to draw more removal. And yeah, that's fine. We'll create a black rat in response because we can. Just to have, again, another creature, something out here. Next. And we'll start eating him with rats, I guess. So we can flash in Liliana's Standard Bearer. If he kills our rat for some reason, then we can draw the card off of it. Since he's not going to, or doesn't look like he's interested in that, we'll just play it to put pressure, especially since he played the Underworld Dreams. And that will start to deal some damage to us over time. So we'll just get in with some attacks. He does have some food that can kind of keep him alive a little bit longer and mess up that clock. And here, this is one of those where we see we've got a handful of destruction removal spells that aren't doing anything because he's not putting anything on the board, and he's trying to kind of combo us out, I guess. Yeah, and then peer into the abyss to finish us off. Yeah, lose half my life and then die. So yeah, definitely a combo out plan here. I don't think we have any instants really that are going to let us get around that. We would need, oh, I guess we can resolve. We would need a way to draw. Get rid of that enchantment before it goes off. So we did. Congratulations to my opponent. They did combo us out as predicted. All right, we got our 20 black and white. We need 2 more black or red spells, so let's just jump in real quick. See what we get. Once we cast 2, if this is going south, we might just concede to get our gold and call it a day. Again, the task here is just getting our gold so that we can pay for some more events, drafts, and things moving forward, and to give you guys some interesting content. You get to see what some other people are playing, some of the decks that are out there, and then this weird black, red, bad standard deck. We're waiting for our opponent to decide or show up or something. All right, here we go. One of the other reasons I like to kind of take in these bad standard decks and do it is to see decks other people are running. I don't have a decent standard deck at the moment and nothing that interests me. A lot of times when I do these and the more variety I see, sometimes I'll find a deck that I like that then I'll say, okay, let me build that and take it in and kind of learn maybe a tier 2 or tier 3 deck. I very rarely build a top tier deck because I don't have the tickets and I don't have the time to grind all the way up and try and do amazing. And I guess, don't care enough. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to Bloodfell Caves. Yeah, we're just going to Fire Prophecy to kill this. I'm going to put a mountain on bottom because it's very likely I just draw another land. Decline that. And we don't want to sacrifice because at this point we get just as much damage off of him. And he has maybe a blocker or something. We can do that. But if I draw another land in the next couple turns, nothing I have needs huge mana. We know our top is 6. So keeping the mountain seems less interesting. Okay, so now we get to see Tyvar Kell. I haven't played with this one or against it. So elves you control have tap to add black. And so he's going to create a 1/1, put a +1/+1 to 1 target elf, untap it against Death Touch until end of turn. This seems interesting. The fact that it's a 0 to create the elf seems kind of bad, to be quite honest. So there's that land that we were talking about that we could draw. I'm going to keep it in hand. Again, if we happen to draw another Fire Prophecy, I might bottom it. I don't need anything for it yet. If I draw a 5, next turn I can play it down. If I draw a 6, I'd still need to draw another land anyways. On that, I'm kind of thinking we're just going to Heartless Act this stupid elf so we can kill the planeswalker without having to worry about blocks and double blocking and that whole thing, and then still get some damage in. And we've got village rights for if he does decide to try and kill something off. And there we did draw another Fire Prophecy. So I am going to shoot that off. And we will put the swamp at the bottom. Kroxa is very interesting. As a draw, we're not going to do that. We're going to attack. If we play Kroxa, we can't keep up village rights and do that. We're Kroxa might just be a strong enough play that makes sense. Very likely in mono green. Oh no, he does have some black, so green-black that he has a straight-up destruction. But I think the safe play here, we're far enough ahead, and probably the safer, better play is just to keep up some protection. And then next turn, if we draw a land, we can Kroxa and keep these up as well.
They will remember our names together.
So again, going for another Tyvar is interesting. What we're gonna do here, we're not gonna do this. We're going to attack here, let him decide what he wants to block, if he wants to keep Tyvar alive. He blocks here. Don't have a way to give it trample, I was thinking. And he sacrifices something. He can't do the +1 unless he has another elf. If he blocks here for the trade, we can Alchemist's Gift for some life and do that. So I think this is still a good line here. This makes him take some choices and tells us what his kind of plan is. Tyvar seems to be important for him. We could have, in theory, we could have Alchemist's Gift and Infuriated here for the kill. I think Kroxa is just a fun punishment. And really puts our opponent at a bad spot. They've got to get rid of a non-land card if they don't want to be within death range. And Tyvar can make another elf. Sure, he's going to get an elf. He can gain a life and go to 5. Or lose a life and go, or have me lose a life, I go to 21. And then he'll +1 it here.
Strike like the cosmos serpent.
Which is interesting. Oh, here we go. Herald King of Skemfar. So he got another creature. So I don't know why, if he had played this first, he could have gained 2 life. Here he didn't need the black and he couldn't have used it anyways, so I don't know what the thought was there. Yeah, we need 5 cards in there to be able to do that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna decline that. We're going to attack my opponent directly and see what he wants to do as far as blocks. Okay, so that's fine. We're going to Alchemist's Gifts here, giving him Death Touch. And then we will Infuriate here so that he lives. Finishing off his board. And we're keeping him. He's top decking. This is going to come in with some counters. That's fine. We can play Kroxa next time, and he's going to take 3.
Like the cosmos serpent.
Interesting. Heartless Act can definitely remove the counters and make his math a lot worse, so this becomes a 2-3. Or we can play Kroxa. So we can sacrifice the goat, make this a 5-5 trample over the 2-3. When we trick that, yeah, and we're going to do that. So we're going to sacrifice the goat. We're going to attack here. Next, he's going to block. We're going to remove the 3 counters. And our trample damage is going to put him down to 3. Which Kroxa is lethal if he doesn't keep a card in hand.
Join me in battle.
So here he's worried about my board and those kinds of things. There we go. Submit 5. And then he's dead. All right, so we managed to win out of one of these. We could have gotten the win earlier if we were paying attention and interested in that. We were in a good enough spot that even without pressing that, we remained able to play around the rest of his turns and come out victorious, putting continuous pressure on him, and then finishing off with his Kroxa. He's kind of in a bad spot where no matter what he was doing, he didn't have good options. So it worked out, and I think that'll end this session. I think that's going to get us our last rewards. Perfect. So we got that gold that we were looking for today, and maybe we'll be able to bank enough gold to do some more drafts. All right, thanks for joining. Feel free to leave any comments, like the video, and of course, always subscribe to the channel so that we can keep making you the content you want. All right, have a good one, guys.